Hi disciples and I my watchers, if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those coming back, I thank you for coming back to my channel and for supporting my channel. As you know, on my channel I talk about God, His Son, His love for us, and His Son coming back. Today I'm going to continue with my reading. So today I'm going to read in 2 Chronicles 31, reading from verse 1 to about 15. So we're going to see what happened, what was going on back in ancient time, because like I said, what they gone through and what the warning they got is applied to us today. It's a prevention from us from making the same mistake that they made back in ancient time. So today we're gonna see, some of the stuff that was going on back in ancient time, so we can apply to our life and try to escape damnation. The Bible is a warning Bible. It's all about warning, prevention, and to escape the ultimate judgment, damnation that's coming. So this is what it's all about. They've been through it. They warn us. It's applied. They warned those people back then. It's applied to us. It's a warning to us. What goes for them goes for us, goes for all. So 2 Chronicles 31, reading from verse 1 to about 15. Now when all this was finished, all Israelites that were present went out to the city of Judah and brake the image in pieces and cut down the groves and threw them the high place and threw them in the high places and the altar out of all Judah and Benjamin in Ephraim also and Manasseh until they had utterly destroyed them all. So this is the children of Israel. So this is Chronicles 31 is telling you that the children of Israel, they got out, they cut down all of these things, they break stuff and in pieces and stuff. So it's telling you that the children were getting back to God. So they were getting rid of all these false God, all of these things. So this is what it tells you. In verse 1, it tells you that they were destroying stuff, they were getting rid of stuff, getting rid of, whatever pieces, whatever they have. They were trying to get back to God. So this is what 1 was, verse 1 is telling us. And Hezekiah was a prophet, and Hezekiah appointed the courses of the priests and Levites after their course, every man according to his service. The priests and Levites for burnt offering and for peace offering, to minister and to give thanks to the praise in the gates of the tent of the Lord. So Hezekiah prophet, he was giving people job. He was giving people duty to do. He was giving them position, every man according to their service, is saying right here, according to the service, according to what you can do to serve Yahweh. The service was given. He was distributing duties for different people. So this is what Hezekiah was doing. So let me read on and see what's going on. So this is the people trying to get back to God. Oh yeah, they gone away. And sometimes they come back, and right now 2 Chronicles is telling us that they trying to get back. They're breaking stuff, they're getting rid of stuff, they're destroying stuff to get rid of all the false stuff. He appointed also the king's portion of his substance for the burnt offering and burnt offerings, for the Sabbath and for the new moons and for the set feasts, as it is written in the law of the Lord, in the law of the Lord. So even the king, the portion, wherever it's supposed to go to burn offering. Because back then, remember I told you, back then it was the lamb, the sacrificial lamb, the unblemished lamb that they were supposed to sacrifice. No unblemished lamb, unblemished lamb. So this is Hezekiah. They divide the portion of the service that everybody's supposed to get done. Moreover, he commanded the people that dwelt in Jerusalem to give the portion of the priests and the Levite, that they may be encouraged in the law of the Lord. So he's saying to the people to encourage the priest and the Levite to execute their tasks, their service that I'm giving them to do. I want you all, the people, the children of Israelite, to, give them something, kind of like what we give tithe in church. So they give them something to encourage them, to motivate them to, to do their job. And as soon as the commandment came aboard, the children of Israel brought in abundance the first fruit of the corn, wine, and oil, and honey, and of all the incense of the field, and the tithes of all things brought they in abundantly. So right now they're turning back to God. So everything is coming in abundantly. The crop is growing and everything is fruitful. The crop is very fruitful and the field yield up all their crop. It was abundantly plentiful. So this is what was going on during that time right now when the children getting back to God. So when we get back to God, things start falling in our life in place. You know, so now things are falling in place. Everything they have fruits. There it says, honey, oil, corn, wine, everything was in abundance now, you know, because they're getting back to God. And concerning the children of Israel and Judah that dwelt in the city of Judah, they also brought in the tithes of oxen, sheep, and the tithe of all the things which were consecrated unto the Lord their God, and laid them by heaps. So they brought in everything because they were getting everything plentiful now. So they laid them by heap as Hezekiah ordered to prepare a storeroom. So they're going to prepare a storeroom to store up all of these things in the temple. So this is what it tells you in verse 6. They're going to store up all of these things in the temple, excess. So, you know, they could have it for later. In the 3rd month, they began to lay the foundation of the heaps and finish them in the 7th month. And when Hezekiah and the princes came and saw the heaps, they blessed the Lord and his people Israel. So it was a heap. Heap means, you know, high, big amount of supplies they brought in abundantly. Everything was abundant right now because the people are getting in tune with God and everything was abundant. So they have a high heap. So they need a storeroom to store up all these things. Then Hezekiah questioned with the priest and the Levite concerning the heaps. In other words, he said, oh, wow, this is a big heap of abundant fruits and vegetables and oils and wines and olives and all of those stuff. And what we're going to do is a big heap. People bringing so much stuff. The harvest is plentiful. So where are we going to put it? So Hezekiah questioned. And Azariah, the chief priest of the house of Zadok, answered him and said, since the people began to bring the offering into the house of the Lord, we have had enough to eat and have left plenty for the Lord hath blessed his people. And that which is left is this great store. So they've been plenty, like I said, and now they're going to have to store up what left in the temple. Verse 12. And brought in the offering and the tithes and the dedicated things faithfully, over with Konach the Levite was ruler, and Shimei his brother was the next. So the Levite, so Konach the Levite was a ruler, and Shimei his brother was the next, probably next in line or whatever. And Jeiel and Azariah and Nahat and Asael and Jerimoth and Jehobad and Eli and Ismashed and Admat and Benaiah, whatever. These Bible names are very funny. Benaiah were overseers under the hand, and Kononiah and Shimei his brother, at the commandment of Hezekiah the king and Azariah the ruler of the house of God. So everybody have a task to do with all these funny names. Hopefully I pronounce them good, because these names are weird. And Kor, the son of Inah, the Levite, the porter toward the east, was over the farewell offering of God to distribute the oblations of the Lord and the most holy things. So these are a lot of stuff they were doing. And as I can say, with all the names I mentioned, each individual have an individual part to play. Each individual have their own tasks, their own duties, and they were playing their part. And next him were Eden and Minamin and Jesu and Shemaiah and Amariah and Shekaniah in the city of the priests in their set of office to give to their brethren by courses, as well as to the great as to the small. So these are people, everyone has a task. Like I said, so when they said set in the office of the priest in the city, so I guess it's whatever office they made for the priest was located certain area. So it said set in the office of the priest. So I guess, like I said, the priest office was located in certain area. Besides their genealogy of males from males from 3 years old and upward, even unto everyone that entereth into the house of the Lord, his daily portion for their service in their charges according to their course. So this is all about male dominance, male, because back then female were more subservient. They stay to the sides, men in the temple, female outside peeking through the window, and they, of course, they play a pivotal part. They have their role that they play too, but men dominate and men do most of these things. So even down to the small, they have their part that they're playing. Both to the genealogy of the priests by the house of their fathers, and the Levite from 20 years old and upward in their charges by their course. So even the young, straight up, they have the role that they play. Here it tells you, and the genealogy in terms of who's the Levite tribe, who's trickled down, who's the next in rulers to rule, after whatever, the Levite is gone, whatever. Everybody has a part to play, and those in line and those who ruling have somebody else who's going to rule from that same ruling family, in terms of Levite or whatever priest. So so this is what's going on right now. Also, of the son of Aaron, the priests, which were in the field of the suburbs of their city, in every several city, the men that were expressed by name, to give portion to all the males among the priests, and to all that were reckoned by genealogies among the Levite. So, so like I said, by genealogy. So everyone has their role, and everyone have a task to do, and it goes by genealogy. Yeah, they mentioned Aaron's sons. So, even Aaron's sons out in the field, everybody have a task to do, so verse 20. And such did Hezekiah throughout all Judea, and brought that which was good and right and truth before the Lord his God. So everything was put into place. Let me go back right here. So everything was put into place. So basically, verse 31 of 2nd Chronicles is telling you that the children is trying to get back to God. They're trying to get back on track. They destroy stuff, and now they're trying to get back in tune with Yahweh. So this is a reading of 2nd Chronicles 31, where it tells us that the children of Israel were trying to get back in tune with God, and they were distributing services and duties for everyone to do, down to the youngest. They were distributing service for everyone. Their names over is supposed to execute certain duties and stuff. It's go by the Levite, the priest, and Hezekiah, and tasks were given out to people based by genealogy or whatever, as they said. So so this is a reading of 2nd Chronicles 31st, reading from verse 1 to about 20. So I just want to say to my eye watchers and disciples of God, let us continue to read and learn more about the Bible so we can understand, because like I said, what goes for them apply to us today. So until then, my fellow eye watchers, disciples of God, let us all tune in with our Bible so we can read and understand the Bible, because a day is coming, like I said, we're not going to have the Bible, and only what we're going to have is what imprinted on our brain. So if we read from now, things will imprint in our brain, so our Bible will be in our brain. So until then, remember, God first, man second. God first, man second. So if you like what you hear, subscribe to my channel so whenever I upload something new, do the first 3 years. Until then, thank you and God bless.